Welcome to the Homeownership Podcast presented by Momentum Realty, located in Hanover, Massachusetts. This series covers all things real estate and the best practices for buying, selling, and owning properties. Now here's your host, Sean Maloney.
Welcome to episode 141. Should I buy a condo or a single-family home? I'm your host, Sean Patrick Maloney. Thanks for joining me this week. This week I want to talk to you about some of the decisions we need to make when buying a place to live. When thinking about buying a place to live, it's important to consider all options. Single family, multifamily, condo life. Which is it for you? Today we're going to take a moment to go over the difference between two of the most common classes, which would be single family or condo. We're going to go with the risks, the rewards, the benefits, the negatives of both. To be dead honest with you, you can hang up the episode here if you're saying, well, should I be worried about the other one? If you like the lifestyle that you've chosen, it's perfect. There's a person for a condo, there's a person for a single family home, and when they mix up which one they should be in, that's when they notice it the worst. That's when it goes the worst, because they then realize, geez, this does not match my lifestyle, which each one has its benefits and it also has its downfalls. For some people, the convenience of living in a condo makes their life work. For others, living with the freedom of single-family living is everything. Now, some of us travel more often than others. We go away. We constantly are just looking to get out. Now, for a person who owns a condo, it's as simple as setting the heat or air conditioning and locking the door and leaving. The lawn gets mowed, the snow gets removed, the roof gets cleaned, the gutters get cleaned, all these different things. And that's the benefit of having a condo fee. With the single family home you leave, you need to contract people. So condos come with the fees to pay for maintenance, whereas single family homes come with the responsibility of hiring maintenance professionals or doing it yourself. Either way, you have a budget. But one of the biggest differences between the two budgets is the condo fee is actually going to be used when the bank equates out what you can afford for your pre-approval. So this means if the condo fee is $600 a month, on the pre-approval side, you can afford $600 a month less payment. So this means that you may be pulled down on qualifications. You may be at $350 for a condo and $450 for a single family home. Depends on your rate, depends on your taxes, depends on a lot of things. I'm not even throwing that up there as a measured example, but I'm saying it's a significant difference, especially as these condo fees go up. With that said, the condo fee's taking care of things, right? Because we've contracted out to have all the service needs and everything like that of the house taken care of. So the truth is, when you buy a single family home, they may qualify you for more money at the bank, but you should be careful to do your budget. Because when you're managing a single family home, you need to think about things like how much is it going to cost to mow the lawn? Whether it be I mow the lawn, which means I need to spend a couple $100s on tools to have the right lawn mower, weed whacker, leaf blower, things that I'll need in order to do a good job mowing the lawn, or how much will it cost per week to hire a company in and have them take care of it. Other things like weeding the beds, mulching, hedge trimming, these are all things that I'm either going to need to do, or I'm going to need to skip doing, or I'm going to have to pay somebody to do. So either way, whether I do it, they do it, or I skip doing it, money's been spent. Because if I skip doing it, what's going to happen is obsolescence. When I go back to take care of said item, I'm not going to have that nice lawn that I wanted if I don't mow it, fertilize it, water it. I'm not going to have those big beautiful bushes out front if I don't go out, trim them, water them when it's dry out, fertilize them when needed, treat them for insects if possible. So one of the things you're starting to notice here is condo life is pretty good, right? I'm sitting there on my back porch drinking a lemonade, watching the lawn guy take care of the things, knowing that the pool's got a lifeguard over there and everything else. It's coming at a fee, but the fee is a little pay for the freedom that it gives you. Now let's talk the other way of freedom. I'm a single family homeowner and I want to park on my front lawn. But as long as I'm not in a condo association or homeowners association, I can park right on my front lawn. No one can tell me otherwise. I can have people over all hours of night. I have to follow the local noise ordinances, but it doesn't mean that I have to quiet down for some neighbor with some sort of condo rule. With condos come sometimes you can't plant certain plants. You can't use certain colors. Your mailbox needs to be this. Your garage door needs to be shut. We have an in-house suspension team about driving on property if you're running stop signs. These are the things that come about having a private piece of property managed by a bunch of people together in order to create a great life in the condo. For some people, those things are going to annoy them. For other people, the people who leave their garage doors open annoy them. That's how we have these differences in life. Now, each and every condo association has different rules and regulations. So before buying into one, the best thing you can do is take a look. Is this the right lifestyle for me? Some of them, they don't really have much of an association at all. They just happen to be on the same property and they enjoy the benefits of managing some of the maintenance together. Otherwise, they all chip in effort and take care of the place. Other ones don't lift a finger and everything's done for them and it's extremely expensive. Some have gyms, some have pools. All these things come at a level of convenience and a level of benefit, but they all come at a cost. And again, the condo fee, just again to look at that versus self-management, there really is no benefit to either. The only benefit to either would be to have a well-managed budget, and that's going to vary condo place to condo place, human to human. Trust me, there's plenty of single-family owners who do not have any sort of budget together, and trust me, there's plenty of condo associations who fly by the seat of their pants. The best thing you want to see when looking at a condo and you're going to buy into it is that they have fiscal responsibility, that they have condo reserves. Condo reserves are a bank account where people store the excess money that was collected during the condo fees. This money is kept in safekeeping for future problems, bigger problems, maybe roofs, could be that they need new oil tanks, could be that they're on a community septic system. All the things that are going to cost a lot of money, instead of running into them and doing what they call a special assessment, which is taking the problem, dividing it by the total share ownership of the property and giving it to each person, sometimes taking a loan as an association and then making payments available, other times demanding the payment be paid in one lump sum right away. In order to avoid those special assessments, we need to have a great budget. The same thing happens for a single-family homeowner though. They may not work as a condo association, but they should. They should take a look and say, okay, my roof will last for 30 years, and my roof costs somewhere along the lines of $9,000. That means every 10 years I should have $3,000 in the bank. Otherwise, I am not going to be on schedule with making a $9,000 payment when this roof expires. This is the type of mentality you need to have to find success in ownership. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself like a ping pong ball bouncing off of each paddle, getting sent one way and the other way, one way and the other way. What do I mean by that? You now have to figure out how to balance your budget on one side to the other side. Oh, I shouldn't have bought a car. Now I need to sell the car in order to pay for the house, or all these different variables. Be very careful. Just start learning to save. Start putting some money away. Even if it's just something like $50 a week, you're going to end up with $2,500 at the end of the year that's there and available for future problems or future fixes for your home. Because the truth is, buying a condo, buying a house, doesn't matter which. There are expenses that we're going to incur in day-to-day life. And now that we're homeowners, it's our problem. It's no longer on a landlord. It is up to us to take care of it. Now let's dive into some of the other segments. So storage. Single-family home storage, you can kind of store things wherever you want to, right? You got to follow town ordinance, but you can put sheds up. You can put things behind fences. You can have your kids' toys out in the yard. You can store things in the basement. You can put things in the attic. With some condos, you have no storage other than what's inside your walls. For other condos, they might have storage bins. They may have a place on location where they give you a little storage locker. Sometimes in the basement, they have a little cage around it, your own space to put your excess belongings. Sometimes with condos, you might have a shed in the back, depending on the condo bylaws and rules of whether they allow outbuildings on facility. Sometimes in the condos, they say you can keep one bike in the hallway. This comes at the knowledge, though, that if you're that type of person that other people bother you, the more storage that your condo association allows, the more you're going to be looking at other people's things as well. Because while you might be responsible, who knows who your neighbor is? They might decide that they're going to pack rat everything they can into the hallway once given permission for one item. These are the things that come to self-reliance or reliance on a group. In a condo, we're in a group reliance method. In single family, we're on a self-reliance method. Not to say we can't get a neighbor that doesn't do the same thing. And if we live in a tight area, it can bother us just the same as it does in a condo. Just going over the benefits and risks of both sides of the transaction, whether you buy a single family or a condo. Amenities at home, at a home pool. You can lay out there, you can do whatever you want, you can tan your buns, you can do however you want as long as you have the privacy. At a condo association, you do that, you're probably going to get a call to the police and end up a publicly registered sex offender, so don't be doing that. So what do I mean by it? Basically, one of the benefits of the amenities at home is they're there for you and you only. You go down to the local gym in the basement, that's yours. Go down to the local gym of the condo association, you might be working next door to the same neighbor every day in that little tiny sweaty box that they call a workout center with 2 pieces of equipment that are kind of stuffed in there. Or then other condo associations, you might find a big, beautiful workout facility that's never utilized by any of the members except for yourself. But the right to private use is one of the benefits that we're going to see over on single-family amenities. The other thing with amenities on the condo side, big benefit, you're sharing the cost. It's not nearly as expensive to have things like a pool or a workout facility or a concierge desk when you have lots of people paying for it. But as a single-family homeowner, you want a pool, you're talking $30,000 plus probably nowadays if it's going to be in-ground. That's a lot of money to spend versus just a couple bucks a month in order to have one there and ready to use when you want to use it. Now let's get into a subject that everyone's passionate about, pets. Pets at single-family homes, subject again to local town bylaws, rules, regulations, but the truth is you're pretty much not subject to anything as long as you follow health standards. You can have lots of cats, you can have lots of dogs, lots of places you can have chickens, you can have cows, you can have pigs, you can have horses. Depends on the town bylaws, but around the South Shore of Massachusetts, we pretty much get away with anything around an acre or above. You can get into some of the different farm animals with the Right to Farm Act. But that said, in a condo, you're subject to the rules and regulations they have there. If they say that you can't have a pet, you can't have a pet. If they say you can, you can. One thing I will say to you is when you're in a condo, make sure you get on the board. Make sure you go to the meetings. Make sure you vote. Don't be that person that complains about the way the condo runs, but is unwilling to get involved with the government affairs of the condo. Get involved, take over, and make the rules the way you'd like them to be. Otherwise, sit back and enjoy the ride because you're not the person making the rules, so you can't certainly complain about them. Parking, where to park. This is one that some condos have great parking. They have tons of it. They have tons of bonus parking, means you can have friends over all the time. Other condos, a little bit tough. Sometimes they have no parking whatsoever, and other times they have marked parking that people get really, really mad about. So make sure to stay to your own zone and not just assume I'm going to live park my car and run in, because some neighbors are going to get really mad about that. And then parking on a single family side, parking can be expensive. It adds a lot of expenses to the bill to buy a home. But not having parking, such as living up in Boston or different places like that, on-street parking can be really tough when it snows out. One of the benefits of most single-family homes in the South Shore is having your own parking that's off-street that's paved. Each and every scenario has its risks and its rewards. For a single-family homeowner, the act of putting in driveway or parking space can cost thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. For a condo association, it's just part of your fee. And another thing that's great is in a condo association, when it snows out, they take care of it versus at your single family home, you either contract someone or you do it yourself. That's a really nice benefit to wake up on a snow day, take your normal shower, walk out your normal speed, get in your car and just drive away versus the person who has to get up an hour or two early to prepare their parking spaces so themselves, their husband, their wife, whoever can be safe on the way out, maybe the kids. They're trying to put down rock melt. They're trying to do all these things, whereas they could have just jumped in their car and driven away. And for those of you people in single-family homes that own a garage that just drive right over the snow and drive across it, more power to you, but be careful of the risks of not clearing your snow. Slip and fall accidents here in Massachusetts put a lot of liability on people who do not clean up their snow and create ice. It's nice to have those big SUVs, but the truth is, with the Amazon guy, with the mailman, with all the different people in society that come onto your property, you're taking on a big risk. One of the things that's offset a little bit when it comes to parking in a condo association is they're going to attack the association versus the individual members. They're going to attack the company that took care of it if there's ever civil lawsuits to do with the idea of someone getting hurt on the property. Now let's talk about one last thing before we end this episode, market swings. Market swings affect everybody. But one of the things I want to point out about in a condo is when people start defaulting and condos end up empty, the association takes on the weight of those unpaid condo fees. Whereas single family, it's only us and we're only adjusted by that. Another thing though on the other side is if you're in a great condo association with good members and a market swing comes and everyone hangs on, it can protect your market value a lot more than it does when a single family home gets foreclosed on next door to your home and they take the pricing in the local neighborhood and take it down the tubes. There are so many risks and so many rewards to each lifestyle. I'll tell you what, there's been times in my life where I love single family, and there's times in my life where I love a condo. It depends on what your goal is, but one of the things you know is if you reach out to us over at Movementum Realty, one of our agents, who we call our Move Mentors, could guide you through the process. We look at them more as a guide and a mentor to the process, more than just a salesperson, because we believe honestly in the lifelong relationship of buying, selling, and owning homes with people is more beneficial for both parts. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Homeownership. Make sure to subscribe and tell your friends and family if you haven't already done so. Check out our blog, our weekly newsletter, as well as our Facebook group for more free information on buying, selling, and owning homes. Thanks again and have a great week.